Oh yeah! Today we're gonna be going over how to do the squat properly, effectively, and safely. Then I'm gonna give you guys some progressions, regressions, meaning I'm gonna show you some different ways to do it, where to start, and where to end. First things first, let's talk about what it looks like in general, because let's be honest, you're not gonna be able to see yourself, right? So you're just gonna have to kind of feel how it looks while you're doing it, which is really difficult, right? So let me show you what it's not, and then I'm gonna show you what it really looks like. So from the side view, what we're not doing is sending the butt back like this and then reaching out like this, right? I see a lot of these like squats like this. That's not a squat, okay? That's like something between a deadlift and a squat. Not a squat. This is the wrong way to do it from what it looks like in the front, right? You shouldn't be able to see the back of my head practically, right? Or my traps and my shoulders, okay? Because they're coming down so far. Again, not the right way to do it. Whoa! Side view of how it should look, pretty darn good, right? So as you're sitting down into the back of your butt, right? So you're sitting down into the hole is what I like to say. You're gonna get your feet about shoulder width, okay? Because it always depends on who you are, right? That's something you're gonna see in this channel all the time. It depends, and that's just the truth. I wish it didn't, but it does. Now, once you're there with your feet, you're gonna use your hands if you're a beginner, okay? Because we really wanna use that hands to keep that rib cage down and have a nice tight core, but still sit back in the hole, okay? So we're hands out, right? And we're sitting back into that hole and coming back up. Now I just went pretty deep. Let's talk about depth. Depth does not have to be all the way to the floor. What they say, ass to the grass, right? Some people can, some people can't. This has been looked at many times. Some people's actual femurs, their leg bones, will not allow them to do that with contrast to their hip. Okay, so that is not the goal in the squat. The goal in the squat is to squat effectively, safely, and correctly with your body. So it's gonna look a little different for everybody. So if you want to, you can just go to here. And when I say you want to, you probably should only go about a quarter of the way down when you're starting your squats, okay? Over time, you might get a little deeper, and that's okay, that's a good thing, but don't force depth. Let's do it from the front now. Coming down, back up. See that core is nice and tight, my rib cage isn't coming up, and I'm using my hands to keep my core tight also. So sitting back into the hole, coming back up. Now you're gonna notice in my squats, my knees tend to go out pretty far. Now it's not the goal to drive your knees out, but it's definitely not the goal to drive your knees in, okay? And that's a pretty common factor in squats. You see a lot of people's knees driving in. And if it's not one, it's the other, right? So make sure you're not doing that. I like to say drive the knees out with most people I train. Now, you're not most. You might be somebody that doesn't need to push their knees out too much. Where's the knee gonna go? We're talking about second or third toe area, okay? And again, it's not a science. There's somebody out there that wants to make this a science. It's not. It depends on your body. Now, if we have our feet set like we did, we have our rib cage down, core tight, right? We're using our hands to reach, okay? Then after that, we're gonna really focus on where our back is at, okay? So let's look at that side view, right? So this would be really arched, right? Well, that's not the worst, but we don't want to be all the way here, right? We just want a little bit of a reach, okay? See that little bit of a reach? And then when you're coming down, we don't want to see a super arch in the lower back like that, okay? But we also don't want to be too far under either. So again, you're going to notice this in a lot of videos that I do. We got to be somewhere in the middle. Now, we call this neutral. Most people don't know what neutral is because you can't find it. I can't find it for myself. All I know is it's between the ranges, okay? You can get your core tight and that's pretty close to neutral, right? But we can't look at your squat and say it's neutral. It's just not possible because I don't have x-ray goggles on and I can't see your bones or your muscles. So we're coming back out, right? Let's do a little bit of a reach and then we're going to sit back down into the hole, keeping the back straight, but not too far under and not too far back, okay? Right about there, I can feel my core. Coming back up, boom. And when I come back up out of the squat, I like to think of the floor is coming up underneath me, right? So the floor is coming up underneath me from here, and it's coming up, and I'm coming straight up. Because what do we not want to see? That super far lean over. Now let's go over some of the places to start and where you might be able to go after you do this a couple times. Now I'm not gonna go to the extreme of a back squat or a bar front squat. We'll get into that in another video. So where do we start? We start with the body weight, of course. So after we start with the body weight, we're like, okay, I think I got this. I saw myself in the mirror and now I kind of know. Or I had a friend look at me, they're like, yeah, that looks pretty darn good. All right, next step, number 2 from there is the reach, right? We're already reaching as we do this, but now we're gonna really reach with an object. The object can be a really small dumbbell or a really small kettlebell, or if you're at home, what I like to use is just one of those big textbooks, okay? Because the weight is not what we're looking for. It's really getting more core activation, which is going to actually help you get a better squat. So from here on, we're gonna be here, and we're gonna reach out with this guy a little more and come back up. Whoa, I started to feel the legs a little more, the core activation is on, okay? That's step number 2. Now once you feel like you've passed that and you're just getting stronger, right? What's the next step? Step 3, meet Mr. Kettlebell, my friend, right? So start off low and go up. We call this a goblet squat, okay? And we're gonna grab it by the horns, like a ram, right here and right here, okay? And then what does that look like from the front and the side view? Let's go side view first. Side view, and we're gonna come down, keep it here. That's why it's a goblet squat. Elbows are down and in, nice and tight core, coming back, and then coming up with the floor, straight up, nice, good. And then from there, the front view, same thing, keeping everything the same, elbows nice and close, not too far in, we're not dumping in, right? Should feel pretty comfortable here for the shoulders. And we're keeping it out, we're not keeping it on the chest. Be careful of that, that's pretty easy to do, especially if it's a little too heavy, right? So a little bit out, and we're coming down, and coming right back up. Now, when you're coming up out of that squat, I want you thinking of a big walnut right between your booty. All right? And you're gonna crack that walnut in half with your gluteus bootius. That's your glutes, that's your butt. Now, if you don't know how to squeeze your glutes, right? One of the best ways to figure out how is put your hand on your booty, all right? And then I want you to just make your butt change shapes, all right? Oh, okay, I feel that now, Zach. Yeah, oh, okay. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now do it with both glutes, and now squeeze that walnut in the middle, and then you're gonna really feel the glutes and the legs working together as you squat. This has been my true pleasure to teach you a little more about the squat. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, put them below. Make sure you like this video for me. A lot more people will see it, and that's what we want, right? We want to help some people out. And if this helped you, please share it too. That would really help me out, and I appreciate it. Have a beautiful, fantastic day. Lift life.